Hi friends, welcome to our channel. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the basic OOPS element of class and object and how to define a class, how to create an object in Java. So in our previous video, we have discussed what are the various types of variables in Java and what are the types of methods in Java. As well as we have discussed about what is constructor, how to use constructor in Java. So if you haven't watched that videos, the video links are available in the description. So please watch it. So finally, coming to this video, so we are going to include all those things. We are going to include variable, method, and constructor, and we will be make it as a simple object-oriented program with the help of Java. So as we know already, if I want to write a object-oriented programming, the basic thing is I need class as well as object. First, we have to understand what is object. So object is nothing but if anything is existing in the real world, then I will say it's an object. I can say it's a existing entity. If anything is existing in the real world, then I can say it's an object. Yes, if I want to write a object oriented programming, so first of all, I need to know what is object and what is class. Yes, these two are the basic elements of object oriented programming. So we'll understand the difference between object and class now. So object is if anything is existing in the real world, it may be a tangible or it may be a non-tangible, then I will say it's object. So for example, apple is the object, orange is the object, and grape is also object. So like this. Yes, these all are existing in the in the real world. The same way, I can take maybe I can take bike is the object, car is the object, and auto is the object. So yes, these all are existing in the real world. So human being is the object. So tree is the object. So everything is the object. Everything, if it is existing in the real world, then I will say it's an object. So what is inside this object? So inside this object, I have some properties. So let me take a mobile phone. So let me take a mobile phone. So mobile phone is the object. Inside this mobile phone object, I have a properties, nothing but variable and method. So for example, inside mobile phone, I have a variable, what is the brand name, and I have a variable, what is the price of this mobile object, and what is the screen size, RAM size, memory size. So these all are single value inside a mobile object. So I will say it's a variable. And also inside that object, I have another property called method. So what is method? Method is the functionality or behavior of the object. So by using that mobile object, I can make a call, I can make a message, I can make a video call. So these all are methods in the mobile object. So finally, object which is existing in the real world, and inside that object I have, I mean programmatically I'm saying that in that inside that object I have a variable as well as method. You can take any object. You can take a maybe laptop. So laptop is the object. Yes, it is existing in the real world. So for the laptop object, I have a variable, brand name, price, and model number, and screen size and RAM size, hard disk size, right? So these all are the variables of laptop object. The same way I have a method. So by using this laptop, what are the tasks I can perform? So with the help of this laptop, I can play a music, I can play a video, I can browse something, and I can check my mails. Right? These all are the functionality. So that I will call this method. Right. So friends, I hope we are clear about object and what is inside object. And the second one is second basic element of OOPS is class. So the difference between object and class is object is existing in the world, but class is not existing in the world. It's like a virtual tab. So we are using class to group similar type of objects in a single unit. For example, let me take apple, orange, grape is a object which is existing in the real world. So I can point out what is apple. I can point out what is orange. I can show what is grape. So these three objects I can group it in a single unit called fruit. Finally, fruit is a class name, right? I can easily find out what is apple. I can say what is orange, but for fruit I cannot say, right? Yes, it's like a virtual term, or it's a common term to group apple, orange, grape in a single unit. So that I will call as class. So finally, object is existing in the real world, but class is not existing. It's like a virtual term in the real world. The same way you can take bike or auto. So these all are objects. So here your vehicle will be the class name. So your vehicle will be the class name. So friends, I hope we are clear about what is object and what is class. So now let us write one small employee program with the help of this class and object. So let me define a class employee. Right? So this is a way how to define a class in Java. So I will be define a class by using a keyword class. So class employee. So for this employee class, I can have a number of objects. Let it be employee. So the name of the employee is let it be John. Yes, class is a collection of similar type of object. And same way, let me have one more employee. Let it be work. Right. So inside this employee object, I need to maintain some variable and method. So you know that each employee will come with their employee ID and employee name and employee salary. So these all are my variables. And the employee may perform so many tasks, right? So based on the employee department, he may perform some task. So for that, I need to define a method. So for example, here what I'm going to define a method. Let it be display, which is going to display all my employee details. Sorry, but my method. Let me say first I'm displaying the employee ID, EID. And same way I'm displaying name as well as salary. And yeah, I have displayed all the three properties: ID, name, salary. Let me make a separator for each employee. So finally, inside employee object, I have declared the variable. What are the things I have to import inside the employee object. Also, I have defined a method. So now for each employee, I have to initialize separate employee ID, employee name, salary. So in our previous video, we have discussed I can initialize the variables with the help of constructor. So let me define a constructor of employee class. I need to initialize employee ID and employee name and salary, which means I will define a constructor with three arguments, which is coming with ID, name, and the salary. So that I will assign to my instance variable. So this local to instance. So that's it. So now our employee class is ready. So when this constructor will get execute, this constructor will get execute automatically when we are creating object. And the constructor is expecting three arguments. So which means while creating object, I need to pass ID, name, as well as salary as a argument. I'm passing these three arguments. So finally, the moment I create an object, this constructor will get execute automatically, and with the help of this constructor, I'm initializing my object variables or instance variable. So once the object is constructed, I can call my methods. For example, I want to display employee John details. I will be invoking display method by using John. So inside John, I have initialized these three variables. And same way, if I want to display Valan object, Valan employee object, I will say Valan dot display. So that will display only the Valan details. Let us save this code and run and will observe the output. You can see it is displaying both employee object details. So like this, in a single class, you can have n number of object, or you can create n number of object. So friends, I hope we are clear about how to use class and object in Java program. So thanks friends for watching this video. If you like this video, so please subscribe and click on the bell icon so that as soon as I upload the new video, you will be getting the notification. Also, you can share it with your friends.